Welcome home to Eden, beautiful woman, beautiful soul, you who have traversed the universe and who have learned to love passionately and fully. I know that you're ready now for your true love and you're ready for a very deep, whole, passionate partnership. And you're probably thinking, oh, but you know, am I worthy, or is there anybody out there that matches my greatness? The thing that will change things for you. I mean, we tend to think as women, we're always like, am I good enough? Am I beautiful enough? Am I um, desirable enough? Hot enough, sexy enough? And we miss the main thing that great men want. So if you're going for a great man, a great soul, like one of those buffo men who are like really high spiritual people with like a body practice and they've got their diet under control, but they're all loving and heart open. And you're like, oh my God, am I even there yet? The thing that will help you feel more confident, that will let you know it's going to happen and it's okay as you are, is that women tend to forget, not even realize how much a man wants to be loved. So we get all focused on ourselves. Am I this or that? Am I lovable? You're fine. You're fine. You're beautiful. Everywhere he looks, though, there are beautiful women. They're all fine. They're all adequate in whatever shape, sizes. Everybody's beautiful. That's not the issue. Because what a great man is missing is being loved, right? And as an older woman, as a wise woman, as a magic woman as you are, you've learned how to love over the years in a way that's much different than the young haughty beauties who are very self-obsessed or who are completely focused on their own neediness. And some men will like that. He wants to feel needed. He wants to feel like he can give to you and that you need him. Of course, that's good too. We want you loved up, honey. We're not talking about you getting in a relationship where you're just the giver and you're not loved up. but we are talking about when you realize that, but as you love this man that you're dreaming of, and you shower him because you do love him, he is your dream man. That's very attractive on a very deep level. I don't know how it gets to be this way where we expect men to be these constant providers, all about our beauty. Like, could you handle it if he was more beautiful than you? Oh my God, wouldn't that be terrible? But wouldn't it be wonderful? Because he can't see himself. You can see him. But could you handle it? Because if the whole relationship is based on you being this worshipped goddess, is that really goddess embodiment? Because isn't the goddess about really loving powerfully and passionately? She is, isn't she, right? So when you tune into your ability to love that you have earned through hard knocks, through having kids, through having failed relationships, through having been alone and learned to love yourself regardless of all the crap you've been through, and you shine that now, towards this man, towards another person. There's a delicacy there that's so profound, so like it melts a man to be loved, and it makes you invincible because your love for another person, it's like that, your certainty. There's a saying that the woman is actually the one that chooses the man. I know we're always talking about, he's got to chase me, he's got to make it clear, he's got to, be the aggressor. Well, yeah, but the men only can really do that successfully if you as the woman choose him. At least choose him in your heart, choose him psychically. It's your choice. It makes you ready, open, surrendered, because you love him. You love him. Now, this makes you able to be with a younger man if you're an older woman, or a person in really good shape if you're out of shape, or a person who's got a higher level of career than you, or a higher level of artistry, because it's so healing. It's so wonderful to be loved, to be nourished, and we're so negative towards men when they show their need to be loved, because we'll be like, he's a narcissist, he's not giving me enough of adoration. I just so that's okay. We have this phase as younger women usually, where it's just all about us and our dramas and the attention we need and the support through our moody little periods. And then as mothers, like, oh God, help me survive this, go shopping for me and rub my feet, and as our pregnancies and all around. So much time goes on for the man where they're giving, and we don't think about this because we're like, he's always working, supporting us to be home with the kid, or he's not, right? If he's not there, he's not supporting you, he's not helping with child support. That's a different story. But I'm talking about basic good men, that are so many of them, and the power of love, the power of appreciation. Can you shower him with appreciative words that they're in your heart? You just don't want to give that much power away, because you're like, well, if he knows how much I love him, then will I be as desirable? Will he chase me? This whole thing about being chased, it's really it's kind of overrated, because if you come forward with your truth of absolute adoration, to be showered by love, the empowerment of that for a man, the feeling of total lovability, to be welcomed by your body into the bliss gateway. These are powerfully healing things, and it doesn't mean that you won't get your requests heard, your own needs met. It doesn't mean that you're less beautiful than him. Actually, it doesn't actually mean any of that if you focus with your whole heart on loving somebody. We're always afraid, I'll lose myself. I'll go down the rabbit hole of serving a man, and then just lose my power as a woman. But maybe your power at times is kind of as a masculine being, and what you do need is your power as a woman, and your power as a woman is empowered by surrender, receiving, loving. You're like, but Eve, you're talking about loving him, that's giving. No, not really, because to love, you open into receptivity, the surrender of your enjoyment of this person, and just delighting in them, and the laughter it brings you to see them in their different phases, and the way that you feel forgiven for your faults, and you don't even see faults. This is a relationship that is very, very attractive to a powerful, enlightened, wise, kind, beautiful soul, beautiful man. I mean, I guess you could reverse the whole video and you could make it about, if you want a really incredible woman, incredibly beautiful woman, that you would turn the focus towards loving, right? Love is irresistible. Love is what everybody needs. Love is okay. Love is safe. You're like, no, it's not. I'll get my heart broken, and then I'll expose everything that I felt about them, and they won't feel it back, or they'll take it and then dump me. Well, yeah, that might all happen, but it might not. It's already happened. You've survived. You can, you can risk that because it's fun to love. Like, it's not fun to not love somebody, especially if you're resisting what you really feel. Then later you'll be so regretful that, why didn't I share my real feelings, So let's just allow ourselves to turn the focus towards the beloved. Imagine all the gurus with their disciples. And it was the disciple who turned towards absolute worship of this great being, this soul, this teacher they wanted to take in, And as they took in, opened to what the teacher had to give them, they were loving, and the teacher felt loved and seen and known and heard and valued, and everything the teacher came to give finally had meaning, finally had a place to go, So the masculine wants to shower the woman with passionate love, but he doesn't want it falling down like a toilet, or just like just going nowhere, or just being robbed from him. He needs the love to come back to him. And there's a humility in this to realize, oh, it's not all about me, and it shouldn't be. And it's kind of this switch over, because when we as women give so much for so long, where we always are the ones loving and adoring and giving without getting back what we really deserved all along, then there'll be a switch where we I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just focus on, does he love me? Is he interested in me? Is he asking me questions? Am I showing all my colors so I'll be valued? We'll do all that to compensate, as an antidote for having given our love down these black holes where we were just taken for a ride. So the point is choosing high quality love, depth, and worthiness that's compatible with you. Then it really is safe, and it really is invincible, and it really does make you absolutely as lovable as you ever thought you needed to be, to simply fully love this man as he is and show it. I don't know how I got on that tangent, but it's a process I'm in, and it's changing my life. So much love to you, darling. Remember, no matter what you think your deficits are, if you are okay with loving somebody more or as much as you love yourself, this is like a whole different kind of love. It's like unconditional love. It's not quite the same as, I'll love you if you love me. You tit for tat. Tit for tat. No. This is like, I just love you. I just love you. I just love you. I just love you. And I love you. And it's not because you're going to give me something and you said that nice thing to me. It's just somehow you've opened this truth, this knowing of this great being. And a great man is a giver, not just to you. He's a giver as a big soul to his family, to his mother, to his children, to the world, to his job. And wow, what he does need is sustenance at home, to feel recharged, to feel refed, to have the fountain come back tap into a fountain that's for him and about him. You're like, well, I'm going to be home loving him, and then who's going to love me? I don't know why I find it so funny today, because it just doesn't work that way. If we go for years thinking that's how it works, making ourselves valuable and worthy enough, and finding a guy who's this God who has nothing to think about but us. Oh God, but the funny thing is, when you really are in that space of, I just love you and I want to serve you and make your life easier and more graceful, it won't mean giving up your work. It will make your work full of love, because as the feminine, if we have love at the center of our lives, everything's juicy. It's like the whole fruit. It's like a papaya, how they taste like nothing until they're really ripe, especially if you get a real one in Hawaii. You become like that papaya with that flavor when you've got love at the center, of your life. So you'll be like juicy, you'll be fine. And then there's this way that you'll be loved back, because this man has never been loved the way you love him. You just broke through. You decided not to hold back, not to make it a power struggle, not to make it like contingent upon, you got to marry me, contingent upon, you got to live with me, contingent upon, you got to support me financially, contingent upon, you got to call me beautiful, you got to see me as the most beautiful woman in the whole world, contingent upon no flirting ever with anybody else. I mean, our contingencies, they really, they're absurd. But we have them going on, running all along. Yeah, I'll love him if, he's got a nice apartment and I can move in. Jeez. I mean, not that any of that's bad, or that being supported financially isn't totally viable to support each other in different ways. Maybe he does support you financially and you support him with incredibly juicy living and cooking and making the house beautiful. Who knows? Or raising kids, or just, creative involvement together. Who knows? We're not going to judge how the flow goes, but we are going to judge that, the purity of love is so different than this judgmental thing. Like when the guys are going online and they're looking at our profiles, apparently we're saying things like, oh, you have to be this height, at least this height, or I won't date you. Or we'll say things like, you must have a job and a car. Well, okay, well, we know that what the woman's really trying to say is, you got to be able to come to me. I can't put out all the energy if you don't have a car. But what if he's got tons of money and he takes buses and taxis because he just doesn't like having a car? And he feels like it's environmentally, wasteful. Or you must, have fancy shoes. Well, what if he goes barefoot, because he's a sadhu type, like we put these contingencies out that are our way of hanging on to, something I'm going to get for myself. But we miss out on our full capability to love as women. And that's what really makes us full of joy. That's what really gives us intense amounts of energy for our work, and is getting to love, yes, we love to be loved. Of course, it's incredible to be loved, and you don't want to do it anymore where you love somebody who doesn't love you back. Don't bother. I'm not saying that. No, don't even do that anymore. That's not good. But your real invigoration is going to come from getting to love somebody. You get to feel the love. You get to see the face that you adore. You get to, hear their voice and the sound of their thoughts, and you get to engage with that. So please, darling, please go for men who you adore, who everything, because you're going to be